Welcome to episode 11 of Four Shot Podcast, where we discuss all things HCS and some things Halo. I am your host, Phelan, and with me, I have my baby girl, EXO. How you doing, EXO?
Oh, good. How are you?
I am okay. It's Blackhawks won last night, so that's awesome. Glad to see that. Good for
Finally won
Chicago.
tonight.
Congratulations.
Go Cleveland.
Well, go Cleveland. Yeah, let's fuck Cleveland. Oh, I don't swear on this podcast. My bad. I'll have to edit that out. Screw Cleveland. Hopefully Golden State closes it out tonight, especially in Cleveland. That'll make me even happier.
Oh, it's terrible. We played like crap the other night.
Well, they're up 3-0 right now. So, alrighty then. Let's get things kicked off here. Normally we talk about current roster. Oh, before we get into this, I should say Fade's not with us because
He's pulling a Mullen.
yeah, I don't know. Things came up and he's busy tomorrow, so we couldn't schedule tomorrow, and I'm busy Thursday, so we couldn't schedule Thursday. So
Fade, if you're listening to this, we love you.
yeah, we bounced Fade out for the week. We brought EXO in, get some fresh blood in here. Maybe I'll have to start rotating my co-hosts around if they can't be consistent enough.
He's just overwhelmed. He needs a break.
So then we'll see current rosters. I don't think there's been any changes that I'm aware of. Last time I knew, Noble and Contra were still not getting along, and Contra was supposedly dropped, but I haven't seen anything official, and Noble didn't play this past weekend, so I'm not sure if that happened or not. So as far as rosters go, nothing really changed. I did see Reality Check found a fifth. It was, what was his name? Something Khalif? Smokey Khalif? I don't know. I just happened to see him over the weekend. When Reality Check scrimmed Excellence, I saw him because Septic's going to be having to leave, so they didn't know the status of that. So I know Khalif was on at one point playing with him, assuming he might be their sub. Other than that, though, nothing really to talk about. So we'll move on to some exciting news. The Excellence LAN that took place. Unfortunately, their streaming was kind of on and off, and I didn't get stats on everything. So I'll give stats on what I saw. Friday into Friday night, we had Winter Fox versus Excellence, and Winter Fox wins 6-5. Super close series. Excellence was actually up 5-3 or 5-4 at some point, but either way, they were one game away from winning the series, and then Winter Fox, won out to keep themselves alive and end up winning the series. But super close series. It was good to see Excellence, actually being able to keep up with a good team on LAN, kind of showing that they're not just a bunch of online warriors, which was awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to agree on that one.
Yeah, and then second game of the day on Friday was Winter Fox versus Liquid, another kind of close series, and Winter Fox wins 6-4. So Winter Fox off to a fast start, showing their dominance, and they end up kind of showing that throughout the weekend. Excellence versus Liquid was the final game of the day. Liquid ends up winning the 6-1. They end up not even playing out the series. I think it was the last series of the night to even get played. So they didn't bother playing it out because I think they ended up going to the movies to see Jurassic World that night, if I remember seeing the tweet. So they had more important things to do after Liquid had the 6-1 win under their belt. And then the only other game that I found a stat for was Saturday was Winter Fox versus Liquid again, and this time Winter Fox won 8-3, with Winter Fox kind of improving over their slow start, so to speak. Even though they won 2-0, it was kind of a slow start. They didn't, weren't doing all that hot to begin with. Even though they were winning, they weren't winning by much. And then as the weekend rolled along, they got a lot better.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see any of the LAN at all?
No. I mean, I was watching Nated's stream like last week, and he was talking about going to it, but I didn't get to catch any of it though.
I mean, it's always exciting between the tournaments to get to see a LAN. Walshy, Strong Side, Bravo, they were all there commentating at various points. Yeah. I was kind of surprised Bravo showed up. I didn't know about that. That was interesting. I think he was only there either Friday and Saturday, or he left before everyone else. But yeah, he was there. But Walshy and Strong Side were there for a lot, and they did a lot of casting. And Ninja did some casting with Ares, which was pretty funny. As much as Ninja got on my bad side for how he did some things, he is a funny dude. And so
Bravo, if you're listening.
Ares too, man. They're both funny together.
Bravo, if you're listening, Halo is still broken.
Bravo, if you're listening. Sidebar. If Bravo's actually listening, I feel like we made it. We made it.
Yeah.
But, anyways, Bravo, if you're listening, I want ranked Ricochet. You know what? I don't even need ranked Ricochet. I just want Ricochet playlist, so I can just play Ricochet 24/7. That's all I want. I want Ricochet 24/7. That's all I need in my life.
Just start a campaign about it.
Yeah, I'll get some
digital signatures on Reddit or something.
So yeah, that was the LAN. Overall, it was good. You got to see the teams playing on Sunday in the online cup from the LAN, so you got to see a lot of the LAN announced with commentators, so that was cool. Adds a little spiciness to the mixture. And we'll talk about the cup when we get there. But first, we gotta talk about the amateur side of things. Saturday, looking at the teams that made it through, we have Reality Check, Eternity Black, Aware Gaming, who are a new team I haven't heard of up to this point. Active Rush, Bittersweet, Annex, Nevo, and Vanquish are going to be your 8 getting through. And the notable didn't make it are going to be Royalty. They're that new squad we talked about last week at some point, being the old the old team that Element 6. I think they're the old Element 6 that are part of Element 6 that turned into Royalty. I can't quite remember, but they didn't make it. And then the other team that didn't make it, I guess, would be Noble, but they didn't play. We're not sure what's going on there. Not sure if they have a fourth or not. Maybe that's why they didn't play. Don't know. But Noble missed another week, and I believe they missed a week back when the Contra thing went down. When they
Seems
first
like everything with Nobles just completely fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, they lost a lot of good players. They kind of picked up an amateur-ish team to replace, being the Velocity replacing them. And then they're with roster changes and dropping Spectre and bringing on Contra. And then apparently some bad blood with Contra according to Twitter tweets. And I don't know. Apparently. So yeah, Noble's not trending in the right direction to say the least.
Yeah, definitely not.
Moving on then to Super Sunday Legendary Bracket time. Round of 16. Some notable games that I wanted to talk about. We had Reality Check versus Excellence. Excellence gets the 3-0 over Reality Check, and Reality Check finishes 9 through 16 again. Is there any hope for Reality Check? Any hope for the Suds?
You know, I want to say yes, but it's more of a no. I mean, I don't know. How do you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I heard some rumors that Contra might be going to Reality Check, and then he went to Noble. And so if he's a free agent again, but I believe the transfer period's over, so they can't even make a move if they
yeah.
Is there might be one more after the cup? I can't remember, or not the cup, the LAN, or
I think there's one more right before the LAN. I think I remember right.
If anything, it'd have to be after Indy, I'd imagine. Either way,
well, yeah, because they got one more. They got the finals there after the LAN, right?
Yeah, but I mean, only the top 8 are gonna get through, so at that point, it really won't matter. But either way, I'm not sure there's anything Reality Check can do at this point in the season, barring losing all their points, which I can't see. The Suns are too much of a scrapper fighters to be willing to lose points, so I don't see that happening. But they would have to be willing to lose their points to make an illegal roster move and try to get Contra. And hope Septic can stay on the team and get his visa stuff sorted out or whatever. But yeah, at this point, I don't see any hope in Reality Check.
What's the thing where I heard where they talk trash when they win, but like they're garbage when they're losing or something?
To be fair, I think everyone's like that to a certain extent.
They think they're pro when they win, but
yeah, I mean they do think they're pro, but I mean every player will talk trash when they're winning and not say much when they start losing. Mickwin kind of showed that this weekend with his saltiness of losing to Ninja. Lethal kind of showed that this weekend too when he lost, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, I mean every player is going to be like that, but you know the Suds the Suds think they're better than they are, and it's kind of what it comes down to.
Right.
Second game I had written down that I wanted to check out that I watched was CLG versus Active Rush. You know, Active Rush looked like they were steadily improving. And every week they look like they're going to get closer and closer. And then this week they kind of fell off the mark a little bit, and CLG ends up winning 3-0. It wasn't really that close of a series. CLG pretty much dominated it. Active Rush seems to be one of those teams that are going to be hit and miss. Some weeks they're better than others. So hopefully for them, when Indy rolls around, they'll be riding high. Otherwise, it's going to be a rough go for them.
Like CLG just kind of bounced back and got right back into it.
Yeah, ever since Ogre 2 got back, they've been scrimming more online, and they've been getting back in the rhythm. They've been doing decent. I think they got a 3rd place finish this week. Yeah, 3rd place. So they definitely stepped up their game for the week. It's nice. It's nice to see that with Ogre 2's absence, that it didn't hurt them too much.
Right.
3rd game, talk about Winter Fox versus Annex. Rematch of the upset of potentially the year when Annex beat Winter Fox last week in a 3-0 sweep, which shocked everyone. If you remember, it was a 2-0 lead, and then Winter Fox had connection issues and ended up forfeiting that 3rd game. But either way, Annex did get the 3-0 sweep on them. So this week, super excited to see what happens. And Winter Fox blows them out of the water. It was not even close whatsoever. It was all Winter Fox, all games. They dominated, kicked Annex's butt, which is what we expect. But I wanted to check it out just to see how they would fare in the rematch, and they did not fare well, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I want to see, before the whole thing's over with this season, I want to see like a really big upset.
Yeah.
Especially like a LAN. Like I want to see that. Just like maybe like one of the MAM teams come up and just surprise everybody.
Yeah, I talked about this with Fade last week, and we were talking about if there's going to be a Season 3. And we were looking at the schedule when Halo 5 releases, and there is just enough time to do a Season 3 if they wanted to, but based off of all the problems they've been having, we don't suspect that there would be. We suspect that they set things up so that they could, if they wanted to, and everything was going well. And I threw it out there that maybe if Indy has a huge upset and it's super entertaining, there's a chance something can get put together real quick. But yeah, who knows? It probably won't happen. But yeah, I'm hoping for. I would love to see a finals at Indy that doesn't involve Denial or EG. That's bottom line what I would love to see. That would be a great shakeup for some teams, especially in the standings too. See maybe. Like a Winter Fox, Cloud9, or something final. Something interesting would be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be sweet.
And then the last game I had of the round of 16 was Liquid versus Vanquish. And I originally wasn't really planning on watching this all that much, but the Vanquish ends up getting a game off of them, so just something to note. Liquid tends to struggle, they tend to struggle early on. They're a team that needs to get warmed up. They can't just hop on all the time and do great. But they ended up winning 3-1. Moving on. No big deal. They were on quad host because they were at the LAN, so it would be a huge upset if they were to lose, especially when they get 3 games out of the series. A note to make that because of the excellence LAN of Winter Fox, Excellence, and Liquid, anytime those teams played, they had quad host. So keep that in mind as we go through this discussion. Round of 8. I believe the top 8 all made it through, so no upsets this week. First up, we have Winter Fox versus Optic. Winter Fox ends up winning 3-0. They have the quad host. Some of the games were close, especially on Optic's host. They were closer, but all around, I think Winter Fox is probably the better team. I don't know if both teams being on LAN, it would be a 3-0. I would expect Optic to probably take at least a game out of that series, but Winter Fox, yeah. I mean, they're probably, in my opinion, the better team right now. What do you think?
Winter Fox, yeah, definitely.
Where do we think? Wait. Let's hold that off. I'm gonna make a note. Where do we think? After we go through this, I want to do like a power standings and see how close they are to the points. So then we'll move on to the second game here. Denial versus Liquid. First upset of the weekend. Liquid ends up winning 3-2.
That's
APG is
crazy.
salty. Mickwin is super salty. Oh my god, Mickwin was pissed. I in the excellence stream chat, he was just going off about how awful a person Ninja is, and Ninja does nothing but talk trash, and he's a terrible person, and there's no, overcoming this. Their friendship is done, and it was like being in middle school and two girls being mad at each other. Except Ninja probably just doesn't give a fuck, and Mickwin's being his hipster self, getting his panties in a tussle.
Pour
And
the salt.
yeah, he was just salty. That's all it comes down to. He was just pissed that he lost, and yeah, it was
It
funny to
happens.
watch. He
It
needs to get
happens.
over it. It's a video. It's an online cup. Those things aren't taken too seriously. Liquid was on quad host, so that's obviously going to help them out. But yeah, Mickwin, get over yourself. It's no reason to be ruining friendships over.
Really, I feel like Mickwin would be like kind of chill. I feel like maybe like
Yeah,
APG or Hines would be like salty, but
I mean APG was a little bit salty, but not as bad as Mickwin was. Like I don't. Mickwin seems like a super chill guy. He doesn't seem like
yeah,
he seems to get along with most people, but for whatever reason, something struck him the wrong way, and I don't even know what he was so mad about. I didn't hear Ninja really saying anything towards him. I mean, they weren't at the same house, so whatever Mickwin heard would have had to have been over stream, and I didn't hear anything over stream.
we
So
got too cocky.
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes giants fall and they don't know how to deal with it. I mean, it was on. It's felt similar to if, Ninja was to lose to the Suds. That's how Mickwin was reacting to losing to Ninja,
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
Wow, that's yeah.
Yeah, either way, Mickwin was salty. Someone needs to get him some water because his salt levels were getting a little too high. He needs to watch his
Watch that
potato chip.
sodium
Yeah,
intake.
watch his potato chip intake there. Third game of the round of 8, EG versus Excellence. Even with Excellence having their quad host, unfortunately, EG ends up getting the 3-0. I mean, it's EG's EG. Even with an Excellence team on quad host, they didn't stand a chance. They played them close. None of the games were blowouts by any means, and they took all the games to close to closing minutes or all the way through. But EG gets the win when it comes down to it. And then let's see here. Fourth game, round of 8, C9 versus CLG. Series is tied 1-1, and CLG ends up winning due to forfeit as Hysteria is getting hit offline again. And the interesting thing here is Hysteria did everything he could. Like, for once, this was not his fault. He did, his IP was changed, he wasn't using Skype, he was doing everything correct. And I heard through in chat that apparently there's a new way of getting a person's IP through their game session details. So if you have a pro on your list,
Even through like a VPN.
I'm not
Is
sure
it
about
not
the VPN part of it, but I guess through game session details you're able to get the IP of the players, and he wasn't appearing offline when he first got on, and that was enough for someone to get it and hit him off twice or 3 times, I think, 3 times, and they end up having to forfeit. And CLG moves on. Moving
I mean,
into oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know what kids get out of it anymore. Just hitting people offline. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. It's something I'll never
they-
understand.
oh,
Yeah, and it's strange that you don't see it in other sports. And maybe it is big in COD. I don't know. Maybe it's big in the other.
I mean, like big like I remember like playing like Halo 3. Like Halo 3 was huge. Halo 2, it was more about modding in Halo 2, but Halo 3 was huge. And then
I
like
mean, is it only
4,
Halo though?
nobody
Like,
played.
does this happen in Call of Duty or Counter Strike or
Well,
any
Call of
other?
Duty really doesn't matter because like people can join in your game anyway. I think that's some of the reasons like it changed because well, one nobody played Halo 4, but the whole thing like people can join in your game like when you're in the middle of a game or something.
Hmm.
I mean, that's why I don't think people did in COD quite as often as Halo 3. But I mean, I understand, but just doing it for like somebody's stream, just get like a haha, I can do it kind of thing. I mean, it's just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand, I guess, if you do it as a joke one time,
Yeah.
but during these cups that are for money, like the point that it all comes back to for me is you're taking money out of someone's hands potentially.
Yeah.
C9 could have won this whole tournament, and it's who is anyone to say they have the right to say who gets money and who doesn't? Like that's where I start having a problem with it.
Like Snipe down. I mean, you're doing a charity stream,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, he's
Like
taking 24 hours. I mean, not that he doesn't have time, but 24 hours of his own time to, stream and raise some money for good cause and stuff. And then all of a sudden, somebody wants just to be a big dickhole and kick him offline. I mean, I think he was offline for like an hour or something or two.
I don't even know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Hopefully, something they'll get theirs. Don't worry.
yeah, hopefully karma's a thing and it'll all come back in the end. Um, Moving on to the semifinals then. First thing is EG versus CLG. Since we just talked about it, I'll keep talking about it. EG wins 1-0, and due to forfeit, as CLG has getting hit offline issues. I believe this time it was Royal who was getting hit off. I'm not sure what he did, if it was the same situation where he wasn't offline, whatever, but needless to say, someone wasn't letting him play, so they had to forfeit that match. And EG moves right into the finals, like they always do. And it seems like the past few weeks they've been moving right into the finals without even having to play that much.
That's good. I mean, I think they have some pretty solid talent on their team anyway. I don't think they have to worry about it, but we have seen bigger upsets before, so.
Yeah. The other semifinal game then, we have Winnafox versus Liquid, LAN versus LAN. Remember, both of these teams are at the Excellence LAN, so there's no real host advantage here. Winnafox ends up winning 3-1. The series was super close. I believe it was 2-1. The fourth game was Flag on Shrine, and when they had played previously to this, they had split the series 1-1. The Flag game was super close. Like, it was back and forth constantly, and you didn't know who was going to win. And Winterfox ends up barely getting through that, getting the win, winning 3-1. Otherwise, it would have gone to a Game 5. But it was, needless to say, it was a super close series. And Winterfox gets the edge, which they had. They won the previous two series against Liquid at the LAN. So, that's kind of what we were expecting.
Right.
Setting up the finals then, EG versus Winterfox. Winterfox ends up winning 3-2. Yep, I said it. If you didn't watch it, Winterfox beat EG. Huge upset. Lethal was salty when he lost.
Imagine that.
So, each team basically won on host the first 4 games. And then, so EG won game 1. And then game 2 went to Winterfox, game 3 to EG, game 4 to Winterfox. And at some point in this series, I can't exactly remember when, if it was game 1 or game 2, EG started either getting hit off, having internet issues, I'm not quite sure. So both Lunchbox and Snipe Down got in their car and drove to Roy's house, because they only live like 10 minutes apart, so they could continue the series at Roy's house where they didn't have any issues the rest of the night. But all that aside, it was basically quad host versus tri-host, with Lethal being the odd one out on EG. So basically, host had the advantage each game, which would make sense in a situation like this. And then game 5 rolls around, and it's a lockdown Team Slayer. And you expect the only way for Winterfox to pull out the win here is for them to play super fast like they always do, and just shock EG with their speed and their pushing power. And when it comes down to it, you don't really expect that to happen because it's EG. They're on host, tri-host. There's no way they're going to drop it. EG knows how to set up and stop everyone. But Winterfox comes out and plays slow. Kind of, no one expected it. They didn't push unless they needed to. They set up at BR. They held the sniper the entire time. That I want to say is probably one of the bigger things they did to win the match. They kept the sniper out of Snipe Down's hands. I don't think he touched it once that I remember seeing. It was completely controlled
Wow.
by Winter Fox. And yeah, I mean, the game ends up coming down to a 50-48 win. Super close game that Winter Fox just squeaks out. And I would say if Snipe Down had the sniper at it, he could easily make up that 2-kill differential.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I would say it was kind of luck that they controlled the sniper as well as they did. They were at BR a lot of the time, so for them to end up controlling that sniper efficiently kind of just worked into their favor. Keeping out of Snipe Down's hands worked in their favor. Playing slow, kind of shocked EG, worked in their favor. They kind of, all in all, I don't want to take anything away from Winter Fox. They won, they ended up winning. They ended up taking first place this weekend. It's their second win of the season. They won Cup 1, if you remember correctly. But at the same time, I don't expect it to happen again very often. It was kind of, it was one of those situations where everything fell Winter Fox's way. And
I was
they
going to
end up
ask you if
they
they
get into
like
shock.
use a different strategy or something against EG this week.
Yeah, and maybe the different strategy was what it took. Everyone knows Winter Fox, especially in Slayer games, to be just a super push-heavy team. Even with the lead, they will push the other team, which is unheard of by anyone else except Winter Fox. And this game was the first time that I've never seen them do that. And they, you could see that they wanted to. Like, they would have like naded and like Ryanoob in library, just sitting at library door, like they would like push out top mid, feel the water, and then kind of creep back. And you could tell that they wanted to push so bad, but they held themselves back, and it ended up working out in their favor. So congratulations to Winter Fox, ended up getting the win. So the online Cup 6 results, we have Winter Fox 1, EG 2, CLG 3, Liquid 4, C9 and Denial end up winning their consolation bracket for 5-6, and Excellence and Optic take 7th, 8th. I know the Excellence C9 series was super close. I'm not sure about the Denial Optic, but I know the C9 Excellence was a super close series between them, and those series seem to be super close every time they play each other. Looking at the standings, Evil Genius is still in first with 1375, Denial second with 935, Winter Fox in third with 650, Cloud9 in fourth with 535, CLG in fifth with 375, Optic in sixth with 265, Liquid in seventh with 260, starting to get really close to Optic there. They've been slowly chunking away throughout the weeks. Basically, whoever finishes ahead of the other one at Indy will most likely take that spot away. And Excellence rounds out the top 8 with 210. Noble holds on to 9th with 140 without even having to play. Reality Check 10th with 120. And that's, we have Bittersweet Vanquish in 11th with 110. And Active Rush in 13th with 105. And then after that, doesn't really matter. Your top 13 are going to be your teams that are really competing for a final spot in the top 8. Specifically, probably only one spot, as I alluded to last week. With that being said, let's do a power rankings. Similar to in football or pretty much any sport, they do a power rankings where, regardless of a team's record or standings, where they might actually lie at any point based off of momentum and where they're doing, if they're doing better at one point in the season than the other. Let's start off with the power rankings. Where do we want to start at the top or do we want to start at the bottom?
Oh, let's start at the bottom.
All right, we'll start at 8th. We'll start at 8th then. So, power rankings. Power rankings. 8th place. Who's your number 8th seed as far as the power rankings go? Based off of... And it can be someone outside the top 8 if you think someone outside the top 8 deserves it, but I personally don't.
Oh, no, it's because I'm going to screw myself and make it hard now. Let's see here. Who do I think, at right now, or who I think is going to finish that spot?
Yeah, we'll say based off... do we want to say based off of the finals or based off of final point standings? How do we want to... Do I just base off the final, the actual top 8? Because the points are more or less going to be locked up.
Yeah.
So we'll do it off of what we're thinking the power standings are based off of, if both teams, on even host, both teams are playing good, where we think everyone ranks up against each other. And if you're struggling, I'll start off in 8th. I'm going to go Optic Halo in 8th. They're my 8th seed team right now.
Yeah, that's who I was going to say.
They've had some good finishes the last couple, a few weeks ago, but between not playing last week and struggling a little bit this week. Based on where everyone else is, I see them kind of holding an 8th spot. What 7th? Let's see here. This is where it's gonna get kind of busy.
Yeah. So there's so many good teams.
I mean, every time Excellence plays Cloud9, it's super close. Liquid, but I mean, I think their series got to be split. You know, I know Excellence beat Cloud9, and then Cloud9 just beat them this past weekend, so they're really close. Liquid just beat Excellence at the LAN, not by much, so they look better. I would predict CLG to beat them, but not by much. And I mean, I think Excellence is better than a 7th place team, but if I'm saying on an even day, everyone's playing well.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Well, I'll go Excellence on 7th.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Excellence 7th. I just don't see a way around it. That being said, I don't expect them. I expect them to finish better than that at the finals. I expect a top 6 placing out of them. 6th place. 6th place. We've taken Excellence off the board. We've taken Optic Halo off the board. This is probably where we're going to be, somewhere in the CLG Liquid Cloud9 area. I'm probably going to have to go... I'm going to go CLG.
Are you on 6th?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go CLG 6th. I like what I'm seeing out of Liquid. The last couple weeks, they've shown that when they're riding high, they can do super well. When they're not getting, when Spartan the Dog isn't trash talking his own teammates, right, and everyone's communicating well. I think hands down Ares is the best team communicator in the game, just based off of listen-ins and stuff that I see on weekends. I think he's one of the best communicators in the game. So I'm gonna. With that being said, I'm gonna put CLG in 6th spot.
I'm gonna go on the limb and say Cloud9 on 5th.
Cloud9 on the 5th.
I'm gonna put Liquid over Cloud9.
I can't do that. But I will make a slash here, because I assume that
means. Don't think it could happen.
I mean, if I'm saying on an even day when all teams are even, I would expect C9 to win. But that being said, it could easily be Liquid taking a 4th place finish at either the Indy or the finals. I can see that going either way. But
I think Liquid's been on a roll though.
They're on a roll, but then they're one of those teams that when they're flying high, they are flying high. But when they start getting down on themselves or start getting down in a series, they quickly falls apart at the same thing. So
you're right, but it could happen.
It could happen, yeah. And just a side update: Golden State is up 31-22 over Cleveland.
Oh, 31-22.
31-22.
That's terrible.
3rd spot here. It's Winter Fox or Deny. I'm gonna assume we're gonna put EG1. Is that safe to say? We're putting EG1.
Yeah.
Who you going 3?
I mean,
who you going 2?
I'd like to see Winter Fox be 2nd, but I think Denial will beat him.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's another one where on any given Sunday, great movie by the way, Winter Fox could, they even proved it. They could win on any given Sunday, but in a straight up battle on equal host, Denial's just, they're too good. And that being said, EG is too good to lose that 1st place standing.
I mean, I know this is kind of like obviously there were some DDoS issues, and then it was online, but I think this is like kind of what Winter Fox needed, though. I mean,
a nice little boost me up, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after the previous week where they lost in the round of 16. They finished 9 through 16 last week. Yeah. So they went, talk about a total turnaround. They went from finishing technically in an amateur status to winning in 1 week. And remember they were on Cloud Host, but still, props to them. And they've shown the flashes that they can be the best, and they've shown flashes that they could be one of the worst. Yeah, they're like Liquid. You never know what you're gonna get. So I would hope that whenever the finals roll around, that the top 8, everyone is playing on their best, and we get to see a great, just hard fought battles between all the teams. normally at this point we talk about predictions from last podcast, but Fade's not here, and our bet was between who would finish higher between C9 and CLG.
Maybe that's why he's not here.
I mean, technically he won because CLG finished higher, but he won because C9 got DDoSed in the series against CLG. We knew that they would end up playing each other in the series, so we figured whoever wins that series will win the prediction for the week. And I think it's unfair that C9 got DDoSed and got forced out, so I would call that a wash. But we can do predictions for next week, and hopefully I can get fades at some point. Who do you let's see? You know, we've seen some shakeups. Who do we think's gonna win? We'll go back to first place. Who's gonna be one? I don't think it's gonna be EG. I don't think it'll be EG. I'll say that.
No. Yeah, well, I want to say Denial.
Yeah,
because
I'm coming out with Denial.
Salty as McQuinn.
Yeah, McQuinn's gonna rip faces with the sniper.
Yeah.
I'm gonna completely agree that Denial comes out and is gonna end up taking the series. Yeah. And if they don't, then that's just a shame because they have everything lined up their way to be the type of team to come back and show that they're better than Liquid. So
I mean, off stream, McQuinn probably has like a new monitor, a new controller in his car on Amazon or something right now.
Speaking of that, you just reminded me. Have you been watching E3 at all?
Dude, you know what's funny is I had to work yesterday, obviously, and why they have it in the middle of the week when everybody's working, I don't understand it.
I have it on a monitor. I'm working it. I got one monitor, and then at work I have the other monitor with E3 on. I've been watching It Me JP's Twitch nonstop. He's had like 4 or 5 people on, and they've been talking and making fun of all the funny shit. It's been great.
The only thing I watched last night, I watched the Xbox conference.
The Microsoft.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I want to talk about. Did you see the Elite controller?
It's
basically a scuff, right? Like they have the triggers on the back. They're gonna put Scuff out of business.
Because actually, it's funny because my brother, he texted me at work because he was watching it live, and I was like, "What's he texting?" You know, he says, "R.I.P. Scuff."
Yeah.
What? What do you mean Scuff? Like Scuff's huge, and he's like, "Xbox Elite controller." I'm like, "What the hell's that?" You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
And he sent me a picture of it, and I'm looking through there, and my mouth just dropped open. Now, the only problem I have with this is the price, and it's like they took a Scuff, and Microsoft found all the loopholes and all the patents that Scuff didn't have.
I was gonna say that's the other thing, as I thought Scuff had a patent on that shit.
Everything you see, the whole remapping of the controller, Scuff had that idea first. The paddles on the back, Scuff had it first. The only thing that's really different-wise is all the crap that they give with it.
Yeah, the interchangeable parts is the big thing.
But I see a thing when actually it was on Facebook today from Scuff's page, and Scuff is coming out with a controller exactly the same, only it's Scuff style, for $30 cheaper.
Well, they're gonna have to. They're right now the normal Scuff is $120.
Yeah. $119.99 is what these Scuffs are. They're completely remappable. They give you like different thumbsticks, everything that the Elite can give you basically. Only it's a Scuff brand.
Yeah, the only difference that Elite's obviously the price. They're gonna have to work on that price because no one's gonna spend $150 on one controller. There's no way. A lot of people. That's 2.5 brand new. 2 full AAA games.
I thought about it so much. I mean, I love my Scuff now, but
I don't own a Scuff, and I don't own a Scuff, so I've contemplated it just because the one thing I do play on default. Just because of the one thing we haven't mentioned yet is the Elite controller has a normal jack now. You don't need the adapter to plug a headset in, so you can plug any headset in.
When I seen the braided power cord, I was sold at that. Just because like the braided style cords are so much better.
Yeah, I mean, the price is the big issue. If that price gets down to 120, rip Scuff. They're gone. They're gone. That's it. There's no reason for Scuff to exist.
The thing I seen
except for the colors, I guess.
A lot of people were commenting on the whole Scuff page. And it's funny because Scuff was actually replying, which I never heard ever see. But people were complaining about the Elite controllers, like the positioning of the paddles. What is it like? I think it's Cinch that has the buttons on like the side of the controller, kind of like where you grip underneath. Like Scuff's like I can show you like a Scuff. Like my Scuff, like okay, if you see it like this,
Mister, I have a scuff. I'm better than everyone else.
the paddles are underneath, and like right in here is where the Elites are. And people
Yeah.
said like they don't know if they can get kind of like they feel like it'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, assuming the controller is the same size, I'm going to hold up my normal Xbox controller. Assuming it's the same size, I mean, if they're right on the side there, I need to pull up it. I need to pull up an image. I got to Google image this right now. Because if it's where I think it is, I kind of have small hands.
Yeah.
And I might not even be able to reach them.
Now, one thing I did see awesome that I didn't see on the Scuff is the... See, when I got my Scuff, it came with trigger stops. And they're really awesome for Call of Duty, but they're terrible for Halo.
Yeah, that's the other thing. What are trigger stops? Exactly. Like, I'm not sure what those even are. What does that mean?
No, I don't even... I don't have them near me. All they are is they're a little thin plastic piece that you can take out, but you have to actually take the back of your controller off. But they're a little thin piece, and all they are is a little thin piece of plastic that fits in where one of the screws goes to the back of your controller, and it has a little tiny rubber piece on there. And what it does is that when you pull down your trigger actually hits that rubber piece, and there's a magnetic thing that a magnetic piece that your trigger hits the circuit board. I don't know if you've ever taken your controller apart, but there's a little magnetic piece that's on the back side of that trigger, on each your left and right triggers, and when that magnetic piece hits your circuit board, that's what activates your trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that trigger stop just barely makes it touch the circuit board to where it works, but you only go half the distance than you would actually pulling it back. So you can, aim quicker in like Call of Duty. The only thing for Halo is if you try to charge like the plasma pistol or use like, the noob combo, it doesn't work. You can't charge it.
Gotcha.
So that's the only downfall I've seen about it. But
yeah, I'm looking at images right now. The triggers, yeah, they definitely. What do you use your middle finger for your scuff? Is that what you use to hit your scuff buttons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, at least for me, like I said, I kind of have small hands. I'm gonna have to use my pinky and my ring finger to hit them.
See,
like
I think
my middle fingers are still obsolete, and I would say my middle fingers are more likely to be useful than my ring finger, especially because I used to claw back in the day. So I know my middle finger can at least like shoot. But I don't think I've ever used my ring finger ever in a video game holding a controller. So like to start even using that almost seems pointless for me.
I almost bought a Scuff that had 4 paddles, but I figured to myself like the only ones I normally use is like A and B, melee. So 4 paddles I think would be. It sounds like a great idea, but it's more confusing to me because if I'm like playing in the middle of a game, like I don't want to get confused and hit the wrong button.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it looks like where they are, like. When I hold the controller, let's see if I can get it on screen. My pinky and ring finger are completely pressed down, holding the controller. If those are now where the buttons are, you're gonna have to hold it by just your middle finger, and have like your pinky and your ring just kind of like float in there, and that seems super uncomfortable. I've been holding this for 30 seconds, and my hands already started hurting.
It's gonna be weird.
Yeah. So maybe it's not all it's
I'm not sponsored.
And that D-pad looks funky. That D-pad looks like shit.
Well, it's interchangeable. It's the thing.
Yeah, but that default D-pad looks like shit. Like straight up, that's the worst default D-pad I've ever seen.
Well, what's weird is like these Xbox One controllers. Cause I used to put different LEDs inside of them and like change the guide button color.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between these and the 360s is 360s had 1 circuit board. These controllers have 2, and they're stacked on top of each other.
Interesting.
But I 4 buttons, dude. It's gonna be crazy. But I mean, the fact of the whole thing I got on the whole trigger thing, but you can actually switch them on the fly on the Elite controller.
Oh yeah, they have a button. I think they have 3 levels too, so you can adjust it. It's not just like half; it's like a third.
Yeah, and then I seen something where you can like do all that from like the Xbox app. You can adjust like the sensitivity of your thumbsticks even.
Yep, I did see that. Like, I mean, when it
Just
comes down to
insane.
it, this controller is basically fully customizable. Like, all the parts are interchangeable. You can have the buttons be as sensitive or not sensitive as you want, and you can have it set up whatever you want to be. And unless you're a professional gamer, I don't think people are gonna buy it because of the price. Like,
Yeah,
it's
I thought about it just because my birthday's in October, but I
see,
hinted at the wife. But
yeah, I mean,
if I could buy a scuff
what, babe?
for the exact same thing, I mean, the only downfall is like the Elite controllers. You're gonna be able to buy them at like Best Buy, Walmart, anywhere Xbox stuff sold. Scuffs you have to order,
Yeah.
and from what I've seen, it takes a long time to get a scuff.
I mean, what I keep coming back to is what game would I care enough about to have this controller? And the answer is Halo. And so then when the controller's coming out, what, holiday season? I think they said something like that.
Controller
Obviously,
is coming out in October.
obviously at that point, Halo comes out October 27th, or Halo 5, I should say, comes out October 27th. Am I gonna care enough about Halo 5 to want to be competitive and get this controller? And as of right now, based off the beta, the answer is no. I was not happy with the Halo 5 beta, and I'm sure we'll get into more Halo 5 after the HCS season ends, because we're gonna have a lot of filler time to have to figure out before Halo 5 competitive stuff comes out. So we're gonna have some stuff to fill, but yeah, right now I just don't see the worth. But I mean, at the same time, it is completely compatible with the PC, and I'm doing a lot of PC gaming now. So maybe if I pick up Counter Strike and I play with a controller or something.
Your controller now is PC compatible.
Yeah, but it'll be wireless compatible.
Oh, that's true.
I'm not sure how, but who knows? Microsoft.
Speaking of Halo 5 real quick, did you see some of the gameplay?
I was watching when they showed it, but I wasn't paying close attention. Apparently, there's some Warzone footage up on YouTube that someone told me about that I want to go check out, so I can see what the frick Warzone is supposed to be. But
it's gonna be crazy.
that's what I
It's
keep hearing.
It's okay. It's 12v12
With AI though, right?
with AI in it. So your 12 teammates versus another team of 12 versus Covenant and Promethean AI.
So I heard it's
The
like
mix of everything.
it's like King of the Hill meets Slayer meets
It's like chaotic.
what's
Basically.
the name of
Oh, let's see, King.
what's the name of the mode where you just go against waves and waves of enemies?
Oh, Firefight.
Firefight, there we go. And I heard it's a mix of Firefight. I heard it's a mix of all three. And then you get
That's
points
pretty
for doing all those tasks, and you can like take bases and stuff, and I don't know.
The only thing, though, I mean, I know, excuse me, I know I've dogged Halo 5 this whole time. And I still kind of do, but after E3, dude, it looks really arcadey for being the 2015 hyped Halo franchise. I don't know if it was just the video they were showing, but I mean, stuff from like even the mass. I don't know if it was an actual. I don't know if it was actually gameplay footage or if it was the actual. Because you know how some of them have like cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looked really, really arcadey. Like the explosions looked like something you'd see in like 2002.
Yeah, I mean,
It was kind of.
I know I'll buy Halo 5. It's just
know,
a
I
matter
will
of
too.
how much I'll play it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I'm still gonna come back to like Master Chief Collection definitely, but I want to pick up Halo 5 just because I want to finish the campaign.
yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the campaign for me as
I
well.
did like the beta.
And once they get some sort of competitive settings figured out, get rid of jetpacks and all that bullcrap, maybe I'll come back to like the matchmaking and stuff. But I don't know. I'm definitely like, I'm not looking forward to Halo 5. That's what it comes down to. And I think part of it is the fact that Halo 5, it doesn't feel like Halo to me. And the other part of it is I love, as shitty as Master Chief Collection is, I love Halo 2 so much. That is the first game in the series that I was good at. It is still like Halo 2 Classic and Anniversary. Like, I love Halo 2. And even though like it's Halo 5, and I think part of it is I'm dogging it because I don't want to move on past Halo 2. I love Halo 2 so much that I don't want, like, we had a year. Most Halos you have 3 to 4 years before if not longer, before you have to move on. We had Master Chief Collection for a year.
Halo
And
2 will be it will always be the goat of Hell Halos. It's just even with the modding and stuff that that came to be, it'll still just the gameplay. Even like MCC, like I think in Master Chief Collection, like out of Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, Halo 2 is the biggest or the most close to the original
oh, for sure.
all of them.
Halo
Like the
3 feels like
gameplay,
shit still.
yeah, even like the Halo 2, like the you can definitely tell it's like 60 FPS, but the hit registration and everything is like on point compared to like one.
Yeah, 1
Halo
still
3
has hit
is
registration problems. Halo 3
3 is
just
garbage.
feels like it's slow. It just feels awkward. Something doesn't feel right about it. And yeah, 2 classic at least, feels the closest to what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So hopefully it's just, I mean, and like something with Halo 5, I think like something like they were talking about like the Master Chief has like a squad in the game, and you play as him with the squad, and then you play as Locke with the squad.
Yeah, the story's
They're his
supposed to be
squad,
like parallel, where you play like one
kind of
side of
like
the story, then
Reach.
you play the other side of the story.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of going back to like the way Reach was. You
Yeah,
had
I
like
mean, there's been
him
a few
with
games
you.
who've done that, so if they do it well, it'll be awesome. So
That'd be interesting.
yeah, um, but yeah, all around, I don't know. Not looking forward to Halo 5 to say the least, but maybe they'll change my mind. And I don't want to get too just circle back and start talking about it too much again, but I was listening to something and I can't remember who it was, but someone asked them about Halo 5 and they're just like, "Does it feel like Call of Duty to you?" And they're just like, "No, it feels just like Halo. It feels like the best Halo of all time." And I'm just like, I don't
What?
know who you are or what kind of Halo history you think you have, but if you think
Yeah.
Halo 5 is the quintessential Halo, then clearly you're wrong because this is not the Halo that we've all grown up and loved. It's progressively starting with Reach, gone off the deep end, and Halo 5 is the worst of them all.
I don't know if like 343. I mean, I know I've went back to this theory before, but I don't know if they're just running. Either one, they're running out of ideas, or two, they see how COD basically since Halo died. I want to say Halo died in Halo 4, but since it kind of like you don't see Halo as competitively as it was, and now it's more like Call of Duty. And since Call of Duty has blown up so much, I don't know if 343 is kind of looking like a different things they could do to kind of tie in that with Halo. Because Halo 5 to me is basically it plays like Halo, it plays like Call of Duty
Yeah,
with a Halo skin.
it plays like Advanced Warfare.
You added clamber, you added jetpacks,
It plays like
you
Advanced
added
Warfare, and guess what? Advanced Warfare is considered to be one of the worst Call of Duty games of all time.
yeah, oh yeah. Like I played COD, I played Modern Warfare 2 and 3, absolutely loved. Played it all the time. I still play Halo, but I play COD all the time. And then Ghost came out, I played a lot of Ghost. And then I didn't even buy Advanced Warfare. I played it for
Oh
5
yeah,
minutes and I just put it down.
last one I played was Modern Warfare 3. I think was the last Call of Duty I played.
Yeah. It's just like those were good games, and like I can understand like the concept of trying to make something, maybe they're trying to make it competitive again, but I just think they're pushing it in the wrong direction. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think they're a trying to make it like Call of Duty, especially since Call of Duty they basically lost that to Sony at this point, and B, in that process, I think like they want to make it like Call of Duty, and they want to make lots of money. And it's just like they see Call of Duty making a game every year and making millions of dollars every year and setting records every year for how many games they sell of the same game every year. And it's just like I don't understand why Halo can't do that. It's just like your game comes out every 3 to 4 years. Have a new storyline which people love, and then just have the same multiplayer with just updated graphics. We don't need jetpacks. We don't need that stomp thing where you fly up in the air and then just
yeah.
stomp on someone. We don't need bubble shields and regens. Just give us the classic Halo 1, Halo 2 type Slayer games, and give us a new story, and I guarantee you would sell just as many games. Like
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's
Even the
frustrating.
ranking system of Halo 2. I mean, when they told us that MCC was going to come out with the Halo 2 ranking system,
Oh, that was
I
awesome.
was like, oh, that's so awesome, but I was like, oh, that's gonna be so hard to get a 50.
I will I will say that I do like Halo 5's ranking system. I am a fan of that.
Yeah,
That is the one thing I think that they're doing right. And for
I
those of
will
you that
agree.
don't know, if you follow League of Legends, Counter Strike, um, Dota, I imagine probably does it too. They have a very similar structure where there's gonna be different leagues. Basically, a bronze, silver, gold, diamond, platinum, pro, or semi-pro, pro. So I can't remember exactly what all the tiers are, but you'll basically play against other people in your respective leagues, and then as you win, you'll move up your leagues, move down in leagues, and yeah, it's it'll
Definitely
say what your
on
league
it.
is, and it's supposed to be less than 1% of all people playing are going to be the pro status, and most of those will probably be the pros themselves. But to be fair, that's kind of similar to how League of Legends is. I know the top tier of League of Legends ranked are mostly just the pros. That there's very few people from the outside looking in. So, but I am looking forward to that ranking system to say the least. That I like that. All right, let's see here. Community news in videos and things along those lines. I don't have much this week. We already talked about the land, so that was kind of the big one. The other one, which
Just do it.
I know you saw because I sent it to you, was the Randa Just Do It video. I'll link. I'll make sure I link this
Oh
out to you
yeah,
guys. For those of you who didn't see it, it's a video of Randa sniping. He's on lockdown, right?
yeah,
He
yeah.
he has the sniper on lockdown. And it's matched up with the video of Shia LaBeouf in his "Just Do It" speech. If you haven't seen that, I recommend seeing that first and then watching this. And it's basically Randa with the sniper, and he keeps seeing enemies, and he'll just follow them with a sniper, but never pull the trigger. He just keeps shying down every time for no reason. He has the shot lined up, and he'll probably miss because he's Randa, but he at least can take the shot. And so it's Shia LaBeouf dubbed over, just yelling, "Just do it, take your chance." And it's a great video. I highly
It's
recommend.
almost. I don't know what's funnier, that one or the freaking Landa video
I think anything
about.
that kind of poops on Randa's been hilarious. Like, I feel like at some point he's getting a bad rap for, someone taking one, weekend of tournaments out of context.
Yeah,
But he has made the community upset at various points, and he gets a lot of flack for everything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying all the stuff that I see that involves him getting put down in any way possible.
it's funny. Just do it.
Take your chance. If you don't take your chance, you'll never make it. Moving on to
Oh,
tip trick of the week. This one we're gonna let Exo talk a little bit
oh
here,
boy.
because every time I go into his chat, I like to play my favorite game of Snipe Down or Landa. And I love watching Exo pick up that sniper, and I just sit there on the keyboard ready to call out how is he gonna play
It
like Snipe
depends
Down and
on.
make all his headshots, or is he gonna play
Ah,
like Landa and just waste the whole clip and not hit a damn thing?
yeah, it's just like some games I'm on, and then some games just like it's terrible.
Yeah, you're never
I
like
mean,
in the
just
middle. You're never in the
kids
middle.
that
You're
are
either hitting like a pro or
yeah,
you're missing everything, and it's hilarious.
yeah. Like I remember, like I don't know. There's some games. I think it was this past weekend. I think it was like Friday or Saturday night. I was playing. It's just like I think it was Saturday night because I remember I was playing by myself, and it's just like I think it was just so frustrating because all of the games I was losing. It didn't matter what playlist I was playing. I think I won one game probably out of 15, and I was just getting so mad. And I was just easy headshots. People sitting still, and I still couldn't hit a
Those are
headshot.
some of the hardest, to be fair.
It's just it's
I swear,
terrible.
people standing still are the hardest ones to hit half the time.
Yeah,
But with all
just
that being said, tip trick of the week from Exo himself. What are the best places to snipe from when you pick up sniper on lockdown or on uh, Stone Town? No,
let's see here.
what the fuck's the map called? Is it
Shrine,
is
Stone
it-
Town,
yeah, Shrine? I don't
Shrine.
know why I said Stone Town. Shrine. Let's not talk about Stone Town. Um, let's keep this HCS. So
See
when you hit the
locked.
sniper on lockdown and Shrine, where do you like? What are your favorite places to take it? Maybe get
If
those awesome
I'm
angles.
if I'm on, oh, there's a few places. A lockdown. If I have it at Sniper Tower, my favorite spot to use it, I would say, is right at the ramp going up to S3. Just kind of peeking your head just enough to where you can see people at top BR or like closed ramp. Um, Elbow, I really don't use it too much. If I'm on the other side of the map, I had a like BR tower. I'll bounce back and forth between library and closed ramp. I think those are the two best areas you can. If I hear somebody go up to the left or like go up to the left to top blue, immediately I'll shoot over to library, or I'll kind of peek around on open ramp side. The only thing that sucks about open ramp is people that come bottom mid can like easily grenade you, or people from elbow can easily shoot you. So that one you just kind of have to play it however the game's going. For let's see, for shrine, if starting out, usually I'll like grab it, and instead of going like P Street, I'll usually take it back to like the flag area, and try to shoot their sniper in their hut, or I'll usually try to push it carbine. Because 9 times out of 10, like somebody will expect you to be looking down P Street or looking ring 2 or something like that, but I always try to go where people don't expect me to be. And usually it works out pretty well, but there's certain instances where you can't do that. Obviously it doesn't play out the way you want it to all the time, but those are my favorite places to go.
All right. I don't know if I have a favorite place on Shrine because I feel like anytime I get the sniper on Shrine, it's pretty much a miserable failure. So I usually don't touch it unless I happen to see it laying on the ground and know a teammate is by to help.
Right.
So I'll skip that map. But on Lockdown, I am a fan of taking it right on the bridge between, or no, kind of right outside the door of S1 as you're heading to bottom mid. If you look up, you get that angle on top BR tower. A lot of people don't expect you to be down there, and it's kind of a tough angle for them to see. For you, because you're close to it, you have a lot more range. But compared to them, they have kind of a small gap to see you and get BR shots on you. The one problem is they can nade you fairly well. So you can't stay there too long, but you get a nice angle, and you usually can pick someone off from BR3, assuming you can hit a shot, which for me is questionable at best. Alrighty then. Moving on to our question of the week here. Best montage of all time, or favorite montage of all time. And this is more of just a general discussion. Who you like, who you don't like. Previously I mentioned I'm a big fan of Walshy. His Halo 2 montage is one of my favorites. Fear Itself, his Halo 2 montage, I really liked just because of the Reagan speech. Where, it had the end that says the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. And then it just, like, kicks off into this montage of amazingness. I thought that was well done. Joe King, that was back in, like, the very beginning of Halo 2. He was the guy who was doing a lot of montages I really liked. I'm trying to think. Halo 3, the straight ripping montage was one of my favorites. I think that was one of the first snipe down montages that he had, or was a part of. So you got to see some 6 snipes and stuff like that. What about you? What are some of your favorites?
I think my all-time favorite one to watch is Reed 18.
See, I recognize the name, but I haven't seen any Halo 2
I've never
montages
seen. I mean, I've only seen. There's only like a couple videos, I think, and I've only seen. He had one Halo 2, one or two Halo 2s, and he had one Halo 3 montage. It was kind of like a. It was so weird because his Halo 3 montage was like awesome, but it was to. What made it really bad was it was playing to like NSYNC's "Merry Christmas" song. If you muted it was great, but some of the stuff that kid does in Halo 2, I mean, just like on lockdown and midship, I mean, just throwing sticky nades off the ceiling, and like he'd be at sniper tower and he'd just throw it straight up, and it would land top blue on top of somebody, just all the time, ridiculous. But other than that, I mean, I've seen a couple wall shaves. I think I've seen, what is it? I think I watched like Ninja's one like the other day or something. But just crazy. I can't think of any other ones I've seen. I've seen really good edited ones, but but nobody
Yeah,
like.
I remember a website. It was Halo2forums.com, and they had like a montage section, which had like all the best montages. It wasn't even the best. It's just like basically that's where everyone went to put their montages and stuff. And
Yeah.
so, there's a lot of no-name people who just had good editing. And Joe King was one of those ones. I played with him before, and he wasn't that great of a player. He just, everyone gets lucky once in a while, and he had some awesome editing and stuff. Shook One just came to mind. I remember he had one that I really liked. Trying to think if anyone else's names are going to come to my mind. I mean, I imagine there has to be a discussion topic on this somewhere. As if I looked on probably Team Beyond. Sure, yep, there it is. Gunshot. I see Gunshot in here a lot. Gunshot. His Halo 2, edited by Kiwi. I know Kiwi was a big editor. It was Luck. I remember his montage was really good back in the day. So let me mark these down here. Gunshot. It was Luck. And I'll find links to all these and make sure you guys can check them out. And I'll have to check them out. I remember the Ogre 2's Winter Wonderland. that was a good one. Oh, there's the Read 18 one. Or no, Read 18 plus Neatness, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, that's the yeah.
I'm just going to leave this page open so I can watch that after this. So yeah, there's been some awesome montages. As far as H2A goes, other than the EG one, has there really been one out?
No, I haven't seen any yet. I mean, I think I've seen one of the groups on Facebook I had. He posted something. He did. I think it was only like a minute long or something. I mean, there's my mini montage.
I wish I could find mine. I had a full Halo 2 montage. It was like 5-6 minutes long, but I have since lost the video file, and for whatever reason, it's no longer on YouTube or anything.
I made one that was like 3 minutes, but like it was just like a mini tage. It was like all the clips I had just from like the start of like Master Chief Collection up until like a couple months ago. I made it.
Oh, mine was all back. This was back in like 07 or whatever. It was all 06, 07. Mine was straight Halo 2 Classic back in the day. Back in that 480p.
Back in that 480p height.
And I wish I could find it because...
Standard definition.
I mean, the game... I had some awesome kills. I was really good at the game. And I was a pretty good video editor, too. It's just... Yeah, it's one of those things that have gone by the wayside. I did find some of my old... I used to... Because I had the capture card, I did a lot of, like... video, like, cameraman work where people wanted to make, like, funny videos and stuff like that.
Right.
So I found some of those videos, and I do have those somewhere on YouTube, and those are kind of funny to go back and watch, but... Yeah, Halo montages, I'm waiting for some good ones to come out, and maybe we just have to wait till Halo 5, I don't know.
Right.
Alrighty then. I think that about does it. Before we go into closing, what is your favorite thing you've seen out of E3 so far? Since it's a topical. And why is it Fallout 4? What's your favorite thing that you've seen, and why is it Fallout 4? That's basically the question. Like, there's no way you could say Fallout 4 isn't the best thing you've seen so far.
You know, actually, it's funny because I don't think I've played. I think I may have played like maybe 10 minutes of Fallout 3, but I've never played any of the Fallout.
I hated Fallout 3.
And
New Vegas did a lot to improve a lot of the stuff I disliked, and according to what I saw in Fallout 4, that's gonna do even more. I'm not a fan of the VAT system. I don't want to play a game like a turn-based strategy game. I want to play it like a shooter. And back in Fallout 3, you could not play it like a first-person shooter. It was you would just miss every shot and you would die. Like, it was physically impossible. You had to use the VAT system, and they improved upon that in New Vegas, and it sounds like they've improved upon that even more with this one. So I'm definitely a lot more excited than I was for Fallout 3, to say the least.
yeah, it looks good. I mean, people were like, I know a lot of people were complaining about like the graphics and stuff in the very first
I think
trailer,
yeah, the
but
very first thing they released, the graphics looked a little rough, but
I
what I saw on
thought the
E3, they look
graphics looked
fine.
awesome.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
look fine. They'll be fine. And you gotta realize there's no way the game can be as stunning as like
yeah.
some of the games you see, like Uncharted. I know Uncharted looks stunning when I saw that. E3 Halo 5, it is arcadey looking, but the graphics are still stunning. In a world as massive as what Fallout is going to be, there's no way they
Well,
have
no, I
have
think
the
they
ability to
I think one of the developers said that they welcome mods. I
Yeah,
think
one of the things they did announce is they're going to allow mods
to
to be
Xbox.
transferred to Xbox and PS4, which they didn't announce that, but it has been leaked that they'll do that for
Yeah,
PS4 as well. The interesting thing though is there's no way they're going to be able to do like any sort of texture or graphic mods because it's just not really going to be physically possible with how the Xbox and PS4 are set up compared to a PC. So
right.
if you want any like visual upgrades, that's all going to have to be done through PC side. The type of mods you're going to see are going to be like weapon type things, maybe new quests, new characters, outfits, maybe something along those lines, new guns.
I think Lyric was talking about some kind of. Whenever he streamed, he played the Fallout 4 trailer, and he said that something. He's like, all you guys are complaining about the graphics. He goes, you wait, and I forget what program he called, but I said a lot of people use it on PC, and it makes the graphics like freaking crisp as can be, like 4K crisp.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
forget what
there's
the
a lot that
program
they
he
can
used.
do with it.
Yeah, I think it'd be good though. I mean, I think I might pick it up and try it out.
I
I
don't
don't know if I
know.
want to buy it for PC or if I want to buy it for Xbox though.
Yeah, I'm contemplating if I'm thinking about upgrading my graphics card. So, and if I gotta figure out if I'm gonna do that like now this week because if I upgrade this week, I get a free copy of Arkham Knight when it comes out.
You might as well.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of, and I'm gonna buy the game anyways. It's just a matter of
Yeah,
if I'm gonna, um, hold on, my puppy needs to get down. There he goes.
as
If
well.
I'm gonna buy it for the Xbox or I'm gonna get the graphics card and then play it on the PC, which I'm leaning towards that.
I
Um,
recommend it.
but yeah, as far as like the E3 goes, Fallout 4 looks awesome. There's a, there are so many games coming out this holiday season. Like I don't remember being this many awesome like AAA titles coming out at once, coming out like literally a week after each other. I know Fallout's coming out. We got Halo 5 coming out. We have was Dishonored scheduled for this? Maybe not. Dishonored might be next year. Fortnite's supposed to be coming out, which looks super awesome. Battlefront's supposed to be coming out, which people are raving about. I'm sure I'm missing plenty of games, but tons of games between October and November are supposed to be coming out, and like I don't know, it's gonna be crazy. There's no way people are gonna have. I can't wait to watch the streamers try to stream all of it, like, cause there's no way they're gonna have time to do it. Like, unless you're Lyric who plays 8 to 9 hours a day, 6 days a week, you're not gonna have time, and he can't play a game. He has ADD worse than anyone I've ever seen, and he can't play a game that long. So it's just like he's not gonna do it. Co Carnage. If you guys watch Co Carnage, he takes too long when he freaking plays games. Like he plays everything to 100%, so he's not gonna have time to do things like that. So and they're kind of like the two big variety streamers that play everything pretty much as they come out. And I mean there are other people who do it as well. I don't see anyone being able to play everything as it comes out, especially with Fallout 4. Like that's gonna take so much time, and especially people like Dan's Gaming. Like he's gonna be immersed in that world for the next 6 months once it comes out. So it's an exciting season. I'm glad to see that both Xbox and PS4 finally have some good stuff coming out to try to compete with all this PC crap.
Yeah.
Oh, Rainbow Six Siege too. That's another one that comes out this holiday that looks super fun. All right. I think we're good here. Let's start closing up. Do your shout outs, EXO.
Shout out. Fade.
Shout out
He
to Fade.
couldn't be here.
I'd like to thank Fade for not being here so I could be on.
Yeah. Thank you, Fade. No, I just want to thank you for having me again. And shout out to Mullen. Even though he couldn't be here.
No, I think we've moved past Mullen at this point.
Yeah. Even though Mullen, even though he's not here and he's not
He pulled a
out.
Mullen.
Yeah, he pulled a Mullen. That's the new thing I'm going to use now.
You winter foxed it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I still want to make that a thing.
But other than that, though, I just wanted to say thank you again, and guys, hit me up on Twitter or Xbox Live. Twitter's at Twitch_X06, or I'll be on Twitch.tv/EX06. Check it out.
And what's your gamer tag?
It's gamer tag. I have a couple of them. OOIEXOIOO.
One of these weeks I want to make a OOL.
People do that all the time. I played PGLs. People are like, "Is it an O or is it an I?"
I want to make another account though, since you can make as many accounts as you want, and I want to do it with an L. And just so get on, and so people and just I want to do team doubles with you, and just go into games with people.
And then my other one I think I made was like I, and then like E, and then like 3 X's and a O. I think it is.
Oh my god!
So
You're such a noob with your gamer tag.
I know.
Alrighty then, I am Phelan. You can follow me on Twitch and on Twitter, FAIL3N. I'm finally starting to stream again, which is super excited. I've been playing Fallout Shelter the past couple days, been digging that. Probably keep playing that for a little while. I know I'm super excited. Mean Girls released a new game that I downloaded, and I plan on playing that on next Mobile Monday. This coming up Mobile Monday, so feel free to stop by and watch me play some Mean Girls. I'm super excited about that game.
Your
No
gamer
joke,
tag?
like I'm
Baby
legit
girl?
excited.
Baby Girl is your gamer tag.
Mean Girls is one of my all-time favorite movies, so super excited for the game. Yeah, my gamer tag is Phelan, with a PH instead of an F, so PHAIL3N. Feel free to add me on there if you want to play. Me and EXO usually play Friday nights and Saturday nights. We usually ball. So if you ever looking for someone to play with, we'll usually be on. If you have any questions, comments, anything along those lines, please feel free to send us an email to 4shoppodcast@gmail.com. That's 4 is in the number 4, shoppodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear any feedback from you guys. Feel free to subscribe, like, rate, any of that stuff that we do on any of the platforms we deliver our media, such as YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, Twitch, I guess if you're here live. Anything along those lines, we greatly appreciate it. Fade should be back next week. Next week I want to talk about some halfway season awards, so to speak, and kind of see where we are as far as like the halfway point. I was hoping to do that this week, but Fade unfortunately is too good for us, and we could not do that. So maybe next week we'll talk about that and get his point of view on where we see some of the pros where we think they fit as far as awards go. And the awards are going to be like most improved, most underrated, MVP, things along those lines. And then we want to do it again at the end of the season, have a final, kind of revisit where we were, see if they're the same, give a final standing of where we see everyone as far as awards go. And maybe I'll even make like an MVP award and send it to whoever we end up giving it to, if the person will give me their address. So we'll have to see how that plays out, but it could be a fun little thing. With that being said, I want to thank EXO for hopping on. It's kind of a last-second thing because Fade kind of bailed at last second because he had things. Just going to keep shitting on Fade. Hopefully he doesn't listen this far. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you hopping on, coming up right out of work and helping me out.
No problem, man. Anytime.
And I will see you on... I'll probably end up seeing you on Friday. It'll be the next time I get on Halo. We'll ball some Halo on Friday.
Definitely.
With that being said, thank you everyone for listening, and have a good week.